Hello everybody and welcome to a quick tips and tricks video for the Seasons of Silver scenario in Anno 1800. If you're just not finding me, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Very much appreciated. I'm a brand new YouTuber, growing a phenomenal community, and I would love for you to be a part of it. This is actually a different island from those who actually watched the entire Seasons of Silver Let's Play, and that's because I went ahead and did it again.
Sound of rain on the hacienda roof. I think I'll miss it.
If you're new here, I get interrupted a lot by the NPCs. So what I wanted to do is actually go through all of this and teach you the tricks and stuff that I employed in order to make this scenario possible. Do note that this actually did bug for me, so I was not given the gold in this particular situation. I want to try to do it again and see maybe if it was one of the deliveries that failed, which I don't believe so, or if the game actually did bug. So there's 3 islands in this scenario. Obviously, you want to go through this thing once before, just so you can pretty much colonize the other islands, rebuild the hacienda. All these things take time. Just get the silver achievement for that, call it a day, and then get ready to do the gold. So we're just going to start with Vazio, and we already have a plague here. This happens quite frequently on this island for some stupid reasons, more than likely my luck. But what you want to do with Vazio very quickly is bring over like 20 tons of tortillas and 20 tons of rum once you actually have enough construction materials in here, so you can artificially inflate your population and get some obreros, because you're going to need this fuel station to be built up ASAP, okay? This has to constantly take fuel over to Luto, which is your other island that we'll talk about in a second. It's crucial to get this up. Apart from that, Vazio is a very simple island. You just want them at Jornaleros for the most part. After that, you're going to be focusing on 3 main resources. Bricks.
I'm so tired.
Great, good for you.
Come to watch.
Timber. And silver. That's it. Alternatively, you can, if you have room like I do back here, build a couple charcoal kilns. It will help out as well, relieve the pressure on Prata, because they only do rely on Jornaleros to work. It's just up to you. I would not advise doing saltpeter here, because saltpeter actually requires obreros to work instead, and I just feel like it'll be a waste of time to get more of these guys here, because you're going to have to expand further in this island, and it's already small enough to begin with. So have a decent number of police stations, fire stations, and hospitals everywhere you go, really. It's necessary, as you can clearly see. Luto, on the other hand, Luto is an island that is multi-purpose, but its main function is going to be for your farm fields. I would highly advise having 2 basins. Try to build one up as quickly as possible so you can take advantage of the first monsoon season that you actually do get in the game. And the very first farm that you want to build up is a linseed farm. Now, you're not going to be making linseed for the linen mills in order to produce ponchos. No, no, no. Do not do that. Or you can if you're benevolent. I'm not in this scenario. Make sails. Why? Because you're going to need more ships. As you can see here, I built 3 schooners. For those of you who have been around here long enough, I don't like schooners. I don't particularly like clippers. I use steamships because they're fast. They're more effective. They're more reliable. But in this situation, it's either between a schooner or a clipper. If we go here, I do not want to waste that much time and resources making a damn clipper. I'd rather churn these little guys out a lot faster, and they're perfectly fine for this situation. The islands are close enough as is, so don't really worry about, like, oh, I definitely need to make it as fast as possible with a clipper. No, don't do that. As you notice, I have 2 of the confiscated steamers over here. If you go through the scenario once before, you're given an option to have one of these steamers, so you get one. But then if you start the scenario again, wanting to go for the gold, you do again get the option to have another one of these. So you'll have 2 in general. 2 in total, excuse me. One of them should be set to take over caoutchouc, coffee, and linen from Luto to Prata. The other one should be constantly ferrying over silver from both of these little islands to the main island. Apart from that, Luto can produce silver, which you definitely should be doing. And again here, most of the stuff is jacked up to maximum. The most important stuff is jacked up to maximum. And then later on, what I didn't do here, and I probably should have, is get rid of these 2 sawmills. Just have just have wood be produced over here, and then send the wood over to Prata, so it makes it easier for your rum distilleries to constantly work, and you can get rid of those lumberjack huts over there. Takes up so much space, you do not need it. It's ridiculous. The other thing here, because you're only focusing on one of the workforce, get some fisheries here. It's easy, they'll deal with it. My marketplace is on fire. Moving on. Now, back to Prata. This is where we need to talk about a couple of things. First of all, around your harbor areas where I put the saltpeter. It's fine here. You're only going to need 4. If everything works out well enough, definitely have 4. Have 1 additional pier. It'll help you, because you do not want this thing to just hold a whole bunch of your ships at bay. These things need to constantly work. Okay, they need to constantly go to and from, because your production chains are not going to stop. The ships, on the other hand, have a loading delay. You do not want to run into a loading delay, especially when it comes to caoutchouc. I did run into that situation. It was not fun. And for everybody who is watching the other series, the Anno 1800 Expert series, which I highly recommend you check out, it's on the channel as well, I still have not given my people chewing gum. And the last thing I built here,
I am losing my enthusiasm,
was chewing gum. Chewing gum and the royal mints both utilize caoutchouc, so that is one of your main resources that you have to focus on later on in the campaign to get enough of. And when you have 3 of them actually built over here, you're producing around 100. It's pretty damn fast, so don't worry about it. I also had initially 3 basins here, and I advise you to do the same. Build all 3, so the next one would probably, or the last one was around here roughly. The reason why there's only 2 is there is a part in the quest line that actually asks you, in order for greater silver production, to actually sacrifice 1 basin in favor of it. I believe you should do that. You will lose on a decent amount of water for a time, and more than likely it'll be one of these 3. Hopefully it's not one of your main ones, but it's random. If you were to get rid of that one, you just bring the other one right over. It connects to the waterways, and you're good. Save the front of your island here for all of your production chains. So get all your goat farms over in here. You have some charcoal, and like I said, the lumberjack huts I should have probably gotten rid of. Over here, I kind of managed to fit in some bombing weavers. So that's where the linen's actually coming into play. The other thing here is I have 2 or 3 of these coal coking plants. So there's actually 3. There's the last one over there. These things are very fast, 15 seconds. 4 coffee roasters is perfect. We have 2 of the alpaca wool guys over here. And then every single one of the farms have a tractor to them, because you're going to need it. Okay. And again, as you can clearly see, almost everything is jacked up 50%. So naturally, they're not too happy. And they're going to constantly revolt, especially the Honoreros. That's why you need to have a lot of police stations just dotted around. Police stations, you see, like I put 2 over here. There's 1 over here. Nothing down here, but there's 2 right next to each other over here. Their happiness needs are not something that you necessarily need to care about, because that's, again, time wasted, in my opinion. And then it'll actually impact the amount of coins you have at the end. All right. So long as these things don't revolt, you're kind of cool as a cucumber. In total, we have 12 of the silver bar furnaces and 12 of the royal mints. And now we have this moron coming back.
Ah, Vasco.
Shut up.
Oh, I'll see you again.
You too.
You truly think...
Don't make me say it again. Okay, I'm gonna do season reflection. I did the Joy of Solitude for that one. I'm gonna do La Corona's Doom to Fall.
The Empire is a rotten husk, with vultures like Vara picking at its fetid flesh.
True. Okay. So with all of these, you should be able to reach this level of silver coins. You have to be fast though. You want to start producing these by the end of the by the end of the first monsoon season. You want to try to at least get to 300 obreros, which unlocks the condition to actually have the silver bars, and start building these things. So I'm just going to wait for this dude to come in at Mach 10 and then smugly ask for is silver, so I can promptly be reminded that the game bugged and it's not going to give me the gold. But apart from that, it was a lot of fun. It is definitely a lot of fun. 4 of the fish stew kitchens. You have 2 of the spice fields. Pretty good. It says in Dune, not Dune spice fields. All right. Say what you need to say and leave me alone.
Have my silver.
Yep.
Bring me the silver, Vasco.
Smugly. Yeah, it's still inactive for me.
It's all here.
Okay.
On the contrary.
Yep. Silence. All right. The last thing I think that we really need to touch on are these. And this is probably by far the dumbest and worst production chain ever in all of Anno 1800, if you want my humble opinion. The Cyanide Leachers...
What brings you here, Governor?
What brings me here, I'm actually bitching about your horrid production. What the main thing here is, it is a water-based production chain that you cannot legitimately have any form of productivity with for around 20 minutes every monsoon season. Yeah, I wish I was kidding. It's not fun. Additionally to that, every single one of the pools that you put down have to have a road connection to a warehouse. Again, I said that entirely true. I put, like, the first time I tried this, you can go watch the series. I put them all down thinking that, hey, it just needs to have a connection from the main building. It certainly does not. It needs to have it from each one of the pools. They do produce enough with, if you have 3 like this, you will have enough to reach this point in the game. So don't worry about that. The problem is that the productivity is just awful. It stops you from doing anything for a whole 20 minutes. But in the meantime, because as you can clearly see, it's right here, the Cyanide Leacher. It does give your ammonia plants some time to actually produce more, because these things tend to be a little bit slower than this. When they're running at full capacity, that is. So your ammonia plants being around your goat farms, your alpaca farms, will produce enough. And again, it is jacked up by 50% like everything else. So just bear that in mind. This is probably the thing that will screw people up the most.
The epidemic left buildings abandoned.
Along with the random ass disasters. But apart from that, the Seasons of Silver scenario is very doable. And you know what? I definitely want to try to do it again. If this video gets enough traction, I guess, I would be more than happy to record an entire try, an entire second try. It'll just be in one video though. No commentary, probably, because that'll be a lot. Or if there is commentary, I'll probably have to space it out, the actual recording sessions, between multiple days. I'll leave it up to everybody who comments. On a second attempt, or I guess at that time, it'll be a third attempt in order to achieve the gold status for this scenario. And you'll be able to see what I build at what time and how the chains are managed and all that good stuff. But for the most part, this is what your main island should be looking like. This is what your smaller island on the right should be looking like, minus all the the ruins. And this is what your island to the left should be looking like for the most part. Until next time, I hope this was a little bit informative. I hope that it helped you. Please let me know if you all would like the long version. I will try to work on that. Hopefully you guys were able to learn something from this particular video, and hopefully it helped you actually get the gold. Let me know if it does, because that would be really cool to know. I really enjoy receiving comments from everybody. I respond back to everybody's comments regardless, and I very much appreciate you all taking the time to actually watch my videos and enjoy the content. So until next time, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button, share it with your friends. My outro was kind of shitty in this one, not gonna lie. Normally I'm actually quite on point. With this one, I didn't really know what to say. I'll be very honest with you. Part of learning how to be a better YouTuber. I'm using my index fingers in a very weird fashion. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll wait to hear what you all believe I should do in the comments. Catch you later.